Introduction, my name is Alon Levin. I'm the VP of Product Management for Seraphic, and today I'll leverage the opportunity to talk to you about enabling safe use of AI. Obviously, AI has associated risks when using it, and what we want to address today is how to secure the use of AI. We start by the thesis that browser is really the gateway today for generative AI applications and AI applications in general. Most of the applications we use today and we work on today are browser-based or web applications, and for AI, this is almost for all applications that is the case. So browser is the de facto gateway for AI. Existing solutions that exist today are complex and have limited visibility and controls in the browser, which doesn't help us if we want to safely enable the use of generative AI applications. So when we talk about tools like ChatGPT, Midjourney, DALL-E, and others, they're helping us drive productivity and innovation. We want our users to use them because it helps them. It helps them become more effective. However, we want to make sure that they do this securely because these applications also pose security risks, some of which are data leakage, compliance issues, unintended access to sensitive information, and more. I'll start by presenting Seraphic in just a few words, just so you know what Seraphic is. Seraphic is an enterprise-grade browser security that runs on any browser. It's a patented browser agent. It's not an agent sitting on the operating system. It's an agent sitting on the browser. And as Ron mentioned at the beginning, it runs on Chrome and Edge and also runs on Safari, Firefox, and other browsers as well. And it can fit to any device, corporate or personal. So even if we want to secure scenarios where users are using their personal devices for AI applications, obviously this is something that we can do. It provides attack prevention, governance of DLP, secure remote access. And part of this thing is obviously securing the use of generative AI. So let's talk about risks first, right? A little bit of numbers and statistics and where we're seeing risks when we're using AI in the browser. So first, obviously many different applications, but we're seeing that 61% of the employees use generative AI in their day-to-day work, often without the manager's knowledge. We're seeing that same number of organizations, same percentage of the organizations are lacking internal guidelines for using AI. So most users, most companies are actually utilizing AI, but without the necessary guidelines to secure the use of this. The majority of surveyed employees use AI tools for generating text, while others using this for images and code. So it's not just one type of use. It can be used in different ways, which also leads to different risks and different options for sensitive data loss. When we're seeing substantial risks in these use of applications, we're seeing privacy compliance risk, data loss risk, and the use of using shadow AI. What Seraphic helps organizations to do is to first and foremost discover shadow AI. So we'll have full visibility into everything that happens within the browser, and obviously with that, the use of AI applications, limit the exposure of sensitive data, controlling user actions in AI applications, providing access control into AI applications and others, and also providing full audit trail. What I'll do now is I'll cover the different risks in any of those items that I just mentioned and how we can handle these risks within the browser. So when we talk about discover shadow IT, Shadow AI. Shadow IT is obviously something that for years companies and organizations have been struggling, and there are solutions that are targeting this. Specifically when it comes to shadow AI, which is consumed through the browser, it's a hard task to fulfill without being in the right place, without having visibility into all browser sessions. So the risks of using shadow AI is obviously the use of AI applications without knowledge of management, without the necessary guidelines, and without the ability to actually control what users can or cannot do when they're using AI applications. What Seraphic is doing in that context, it is positioned in the heart of the browser, so that allows us to have full visibility into all end-user browsing activities and actions on the browser, and it allows us for the administrators to identify sanctioned and unsanctioned AI applications. which obviously leads for better control of sensitive data on these applications. So let's talk about the risk first. When we talk about the risk, we want to make sure that we limit exposure to sensitive data when using when using AI applications. So when we use AI applications, we're often going to involve some data that's going to be shared. That can be shared as a document, an image, or some structured text. When we are sharing files in these applications, we may intentionally or unintentionally expose sensitive data. Obviously, one thing we want to make sure that we are doing is that we're controlling the data that is shared with the AI application, ensuring that no PII is being shared, no sensitive data is being shared. So Seraphic can mask, redact, or restrict sensitive data sharing with these applications. On top of this, we can also control user actions in these applications. So we talked about sharing data. It can be by typing the data, but it can also be by copying, pasting, uploading, downloading, printing, or performing any other actions while it's being in the application itself. So users can interact with the application and they can, again, intentionally or unintentionally, cause a leak of sensitive data when using these applications. Seraphic provides full control over all end user actions in this session, including local actions, not actions that are going out to the network, but also local actions on the device, like printing, like copying data from a different application or pasting data from the AI application to a different application. This allows the organization to further reduce the risks of sensitive data leak. Now, one of the most important things when we talk about risks on use of AI is access control. We want to make sure that the organization has the necessary controls to basically set up and define who has access to what, which users can have access to which applications under which circumstances. If we don't have that, we can obviously get into scenarios where users are using AI, shadow AI, they expose sensitive data. We don't have any visibility or control over this. And as part of this, by the way, users can also consume AI through browser extensions, which became very frequent recently. When it comes to what Seraphic is doing in that front, we apply zero trust access to generative AI. So we can control who has access to the application based on their user identity, device posture, network context, and obviously as circumstances change, we can actually restrict the access, so completely cut the access off or change the different permissions that user will have. We can also control and have full visibility into all AI application extensions in the browser. So having visibility into which extensions the users are installing, we can restrict or allow extensions that are associated with AI. And we can make sure that no sensitive data is also shared, not through browsing to these applications, but through using browser extensions. Lastly, full audit log. So when we talk about using AI applications, there could be a scenario where an incident involving an AI application data loss occurs. It is critical for the organization to have visibility to understand what happened, how do I contain the damage, how do I educate my users that this does not happen again. So what, again, Seraphic is doing in that context is providing full audit trail of all end user navigation and actions, including the interaction with the application, what was shared, used, or generated. Now, important thing to say here with regards to user privacy is that there's full control of what is going to be monitored, right? So it does not necessarily have to be that all browsing actions or all end user actions will be recorded. It can also be that only in specific scenarios, only when using certain applications or AI application, only when performing certain actions, only then actually record these actions to provide full audit trail. But the capability remains, and the administrators can use this as they wish to provide the full audit trail. So as a summary, actually securing generative AI use with Seraphic So using the browser-based security of Seraphic empowers organizations to harness generative AI full potential while when doing this while minimizing risk of data leakage, IP loss, compliance breaches, and other risks. With the advanced controls and data privacy safeguards throughout monitoring, we enable responsible AI-driven innovation. I'll just summarize and say that Seraphic does not stop with AI. Seraphic solves other business browser associated risk. Obviously, generative AI and AI applications in general is one of the most common use cases these days because this is really the gateway for AI, and AI is so commonly used these days. So we're seeing this all over the place, but there are other scenarios which we are addressing, like outside attacks, like phishing, exploit, and so on and so forth. So we don't fall short and stop with AI. This is the only place that full visibility and control into AI could be done is within the browser. Seraphic is sitting within the heart of the browser. We're sitting on top of the JavaScript engine, which allows us unparalleled visibility into everything the user is doing and control, obviously, while not changing the end user experience. One of the most important things here is that we want to stay seamless for the end user. If we change the end user experience, obviously things will not work well for them and will not be happy with such a solution. So Seraphic has frictionless deployment, user-friendly management, seamless end-user experience. Redefining cybersecurity with unmatched protection that stops attacks that we're seeing no other solution can, being in the unique location that we are. If you're ready to hear more, if you'd like to see more in action, would love to collaborate with you. So feel free to book a demo and see this in action.